Good morning, children. Today we will be starting second chapter, the biological classification. First of all, children, let us see what is classification. It is grouping of organism into different categories based on some characters, observable characters. Since the beginning of civilization, attempts were made to classify organisms. But initially, it was non-scientific method. Animals were basically classified based on their utility, like for food, animals used for clothes, for farming, etc. Aristotle was a person to initiate systematic or scientific basis for classifying organism. He observed the morphological characters, and based on the morphological characters he categorized or classified organisms. Like he classified plants into trees, herbs, shrubs. Linnaeus classified organism based on some other characters, and he classified the entire living world into two kingdoms, kingdom Plantae and Animalia. Kingdom Plantae includes plants like bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms, angiosperms, and along with those he also put in that kingdom bacteria, viruses, fungi. Now, under kingdom Animalia, he included all the organisms, all the invertebrate phyla, including protozoa and the vertebrate phyla. For a long time, this classification was followed, studied. But as it had some drawbacks, later on the scientists they also thought that some more characters should be included, or some more characters should be studied to categorize or to classify the organism. We will discuss the drawbacks in Linnaean classification. He could not distinguish properly the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. Like bacteria is a prokaryote. He kept bacteria along with the plant kingdom. Another thing, his distinction between the unicellular and multicellular organism was also not proper. He placed both the unicellular and multicellular eukaryotes into same group, like protozoans. They are unicellular eukaryotes, and other animals, they are the multicellular. All of them were in the same kingdom. The third drawback was the photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms were also placed together. Like fungi is non-photosynthetic, whereas the plants are photosynthetic. As per the two kingdom classification, they were in the same kingdom. Another example, some protozoans like Euglena is photosynthetic in nature, whereas others are heterotrophs but were put into the same kingdom. So these were certain drawbacks of Linnaean classification. Though the two kingdom classification used for long, but it was found inadequate. scientists felt need to include more characters like cell structure, that means the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell were studied, and it was found there is great differences between these two types of cells in their structure. Nature of cell wall. Whether the cell wall is made up of cellulose, chitin, peptidoglycan or some other component. Like, based on the presence of cell wall, bacteria and plants were placed in the same kingdom. The plant cell, the cell wall is of cellulose, whereas the bacterial cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Similarly, fungi, they were also placed in plant kingdom, but their cell wall is made up of chitin. Now, the mode of nutrition, it was also considered. Suppose fungi, they were placed in plant kingdom, but they are not at all autotrophs. So, inclusion of fungi along with the plant was wrong. Habitat, method of reproduction, evolutionary relationship were also considered to be important character for classifying organisms. R.H. Whittaker proposed 5-kingdom classification. The criteria for classifying organisms followed by him were cell structure, thallus organization. Thallus organization was considered specially for algae and fungi. Both of them, the body is filamentous thallus-like, but still they shows differences. So it was also one of the criteria for classifying organism. Mode of nutrition, reproduction and phylogenetic relationship. As per Whittaker, the 5 kingdoms were Monera, which include prokaryotes, bacteria, cyanobacteria, etc. Protista includes protozoan and some unicellular algae like chlorella, chlamydomonas, etc. Fungi included all unicellular, multicellular fungus. Plantae, it includes algae, the multicellular algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Kingdom Animalia include all the invertebrates and the vertebrates phylum. Now, today we will have a brief look on kingdom Monera, which include prokaryotic cells, the bacteria. Bacteria occur almost everywhere. Even they can survive in extreme habitats like hot spring, very cold places, even inside the human body. We will discuss about the shapes of bacteria. Based on the shape, bacteria can be classified as coccus, bacillus, spirilla, vibrio. Cocci or coccus, they have circular shape, bacillus have rod shaped, spirilla they are spiral shaped, and comma shaped bacteria are known as vibrio. Bacteria shows most extensive metabolic diversity. Some are photosynthetic or chemosynthetic autotrophs, whereas vast majority are heterotrophs. We will discuss about archaebacteria and the eubacteria. Archaebacteria can survive in extreme habitats and they differ from eubacteria in cell wall composition, and this difference in the cell wall enable them to survive in extreme conditions. Eubacteria contain rigid cell wall. They may contain flagellum for movement. Eubacteria contain cyanobacteria and other heterotrophic bacteria.